Hey educators, we all have this one person running through our buildings talking about Twitter. Why would any educator want to use Twitter? It's not like there's any real information being shared on Twitter, right? Well, I'm an educator, and here are a few reasons that I use Twitter. The first reason is Jerry Blumengarten. Jerry's retired, but he's the ultimate master of information. Why would you Google something when you can cyberman it? Jerry has a great website, cyberman.com, and has more information than you could ever possibly use. Ulta Peter is a middle school assistant principal. He's passionate about intercultural responsiveness and social justice, and his blog posts will get you thinking and reflecting. I can guarantee that. These next two ladies come from the elementary level, grade 1 and 4th grade teach. They're both doing awesome things with the young kiddos. They're doing great stuff with tech. They're sharing a ton of experiences, ton of knowledge, ton of resources. Definitely want to check these two ladies out. Chris Reacher is an elementary school principal. Chris has really focused himself this year on helping students to focus on the learning rather than awards and extrinsic motivators. He's also a huge advocate of the digital resume. Web 20 Classroom, Kyle Pace, both these guys are instructional technologists, and technology is afraid of these two educators. They answer technology questions in their sleep. They have so much knowledge, so much experience using tech, both integrating tech in classroom applications, and the best thing about it, they're always willing to help, always willing to collaborate. Now we have Eric Schenninger. He's a high school principal. He questions current educational practices. He supports and encourages tech integration throughout schools, and he's a motivator. He inspires people by leading by example, and I call him the godfather of the Twitterverse, and he's a TV star. These next two guys are brothers, Alec and George Curos. Alec is an edtech professor. He does some really neat stuff with his students, and George is an elementary principal, and he's a really nice guy. Great resource here. Great information being shared by these two brothers. Another great reason to get onto Twitter is the authors who are using Twitter to communicate with readers, who are using Twitter as a way to communicate with their fans. These are all people that I've actually had communication with through Twitter, and these are books that we have read in book club and that we discuss as educators. So that's definitely a great way to connect with the people who are actually putting these words into published literature. David Truss and Dwight Carter. Now, these are two principals who have been implementing the no office days, and what this means is these two principals will not go to their office the entire day because they're in classrooms, they're in the hallways, they're in the action the entire day. I love this idea. I think it's fantastic, and it's really a great example for other administrators to follow. Now we got Josh Stumpenhorst. Now Josh is a 6th grade teacher in Chicago. Josh has been doing some awesome things with his kids in the classroom where the kids are really taking control of their own learning, and Josh is an expert in making videos. If you have any questions on making videos, talk to him, and he's an aspiring Jedi, which I really believe he will actually achieve one day. Shannon Smith is a really great educator, vice principal in Canada. She's really done a ton for me personally in terms of helping with providing authentic feedback from both my students and my colleagues. She's always got a reflective voice, always very positive, and one of the best things that she does is she creates these great graphics that are very inspirational and motivational. It's time now for the daring librarian, Gwen Jones. She's a library media specialist extraordinaire. She's the queen of QR codes. She's got more ideas for a library than you could possibly handle. Her blog is absolutely amazing. Tons of stuff with comics and comic strips, and she's got a great personality as well. Definitely check her out. Patrick Larkin, BHS principal. Their school is going to be going 1-to-1, so he's got some information on that. Patrick has done an awesome job at communicating with both parents and the community. He is perfect and does a great job with public relations. So much information is available about the school and about the students. He's definitely a great model for administrators on how to communicate and to make connections with the community. I came across Michael Zimmer on Twitter, and I'm absolutely in love with his blog. He's got so much information for technology. He's got stuff for all content areas. He's really a technology mastermind, and the ideas that he uses for technology, I don't know where they come from, but they just keep coming. His blog's amazing. Definitely check it out. Huge amount of resources there. KatieHalloran, The Teaching Game. She's a success coach for elementary and secondary education. She does once a month video blog, which is really kind of neat actually. She's always upbeat, always optimistic, and she has a lot of great resources for new and young educators. Definitely someone you want to check out here. Dave's one of my most recent finds. He's a math teacher. He has tons of information for math teachers. He's really into student motivation. Check out his blog, Real Teaching Means Real Learning. It's fantastic. You'll learn a ton from Dave. Brian Barry, none of it teacher, 9th grade teacher in Canada. He has this really cool series, a short conversation with, and has talked with a ton of great educational minds. He's also really big into the extrinsic, intrinsic motivation discussion. You can definitely learn a lot from Brian. Probably my favorite group to follow on Twitter, the Connected Principals. Even if you're not interested in administration, they can teach you so much. You got Jeff, you have Linda, you got Kevy, you got Kyle. These guys are fantastic. Really tons of information, sharing experiences, anything and everything related to education. Connected Principals, definitely good stuff. CP chat. One of the other great things about Twitter is that I've been able to meet people who actually live around me that I didn't even know were on Twitter. You got KTV Chrissy, you got Stephanie Madling, you got Chris McGee, Bob Dillon. These are all fantastic educators here local in my St. Louis area, but it's definitely helped me to make those connections with people I otherwise would never know. I've also been fortunate enough to have a few people at my current building who are jumping on the Twitter bandwagon, and they're definitely seeing the advantages. They're definitely learning a lot. They're seeing how Twitter can be a great professional development growth tool. Mr. Grimshaw, JP Prez, and Thompson SHS. Over the last 6 months, I've got some great ideas for Facebook, Prez, The Extra Normal, Wallwisher, Glogster, Jing, blogs, QR codes, Flip Camera, DFuture Me, Google Docs, and the networked and connected educator. And all of this has been able to impact positively my students and get them more engaged in learning. Now, that's a ton of information, but that's the whole point of Twitter. All this information, all these people are willing to share, to collaborate and discover and learn together, and it's all free whenever you want. 24/7 professional development's now available. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please just ask somebody. They'd be more than happy to help.